Still some space on this end of the room. On this end of the room, there's still some space for you to find a seat.
Took it from one of the seats.
From the seat?
One of the seats. We also have some people who didn't register, so kindly encourage them that as we go for tea or we break away, then please register those who have registered.
We're just in crisis management.
Trusting that we all managed to register. We have our registration desk by the entrance of this room, encouraging all delegates to register. I know we all have our tags, but it's also important for us to pass through the registration desk to register our presence in this room. Thank you. Our proceedings for the day have been, the QR code is being beamed right now. If we could all kindly scan the program for the day. Thank you. Just a quick one, Hugo.
Yeah.
Should we go right up to the stage? Is that podium ours? Just checking.
Should we?
Go right up to the stage. Is that podium ours? It's not a sacred thing.
It's It's only sacred when it's
The HE.
the HE. They would then have two podiums.
Okay. All right. All right, so I'll go to the other end and wait for you.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for your patience. We will commence in a few minutes. Thank you.
Sorry, dear. I see Namibia's flag is not on.
Here.
Yeah.
Okay.
I am the Deputy High Commissioner of Namibia to Botswana.
Right.
So I was wondering for aesthetics,
I definitely will.
do you agree with me?
Yes. Could
Okay.
you kindly see the two ladies by the corner there? They are our protocol people.
Okay.
Yes, they should be able to assist you
Yes,
immediately.
because I'm just thinking.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. 1, 2. Testing 1, 2.
improving with the mic?
Testing 1, 2. Mic check. Testing. Thank you.
Mic test, 1, 2. Shall we all rise as we welcome our Honorable Minister of Energy and Power Development, Zimbabwe. Thank you. We may be seated.
Good morning, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the Government of Zimbabwe, through the Ministry of Energy and Power Development, and our partners, SACRI and the SADC Secretariat, welcome to the 2026 SADC Sustainable Energy Week here at the magnificent Elephant Hills, Victoria Falls, in the lovely country of Zimbabwe. My name is Hugo Rebatika, and I have the honor of serving as your Master of Ceremonies for this very, very important week. I'm joined by my esteemed colleague and co-MC, Lindiwe Nyoni. Lindiwe, very good morning and welcome to Victoria Falls.
Good morning to you, Hugo. Thank you very much, and it's such a privilege and honor to be part of this historic event happening right here in Victoria Falls. And to you too, Hugo, welcome back home. It's good to see the true son of the soil coming back to serve.
Thank you very much. Distinguished delegates, this week convenes at a time when our region is pursuing not only energy access that is reliable, affordable, climate smart, and investment ready, because energy is not merely a sector, it is a platform for industrialization, jobs, competitiveness, and inclusive growth. Our theme captures that ambition, driving a regional economic growth, best clean energy, and energy efficiency.
Distinguished guests, we will now proceed to formally open the 2026 SADC Sustainable Energy Week. With that, I request you all to stand as we sing the anthems of Zimbabwe, SADC, and the African Union. Shall we stand? Thank you. We may be seated.
Ladies and gentlemen, please allow me to observe the following protocols as we begin this important week. His Excellency, Dr. Emerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa, President of the Republic of Zimbabwe, the Honorable Vice President General Retired, Dr. Constantino Gouveia Dominic Nyikadzino Chiwenga, the Honorable Vice President Colonel Retired Campbell Mohadi, the Honorable Richard Moyo, Minister of State for Provincial Affairs and Devolution for Matabeleland North Province, the Honorable Josienzo Ramahopa, Minister of Electricity and Energy of the Republic of South Africa and Chairperson of the SADC Committee of Ministers of Energy, the Honorable July Moyo, Minister of Energy and Power Development of the Republic of Zimbabwe, and our host minister. Honorable Ministers responsible for energy from SADC member states here present.
Your Excellency, Mr. Elias Mahosi, Executive Secretary of SADC, Your Excellencies, Heads of Regional Economic Communities and International Organizations, Your Excellencies, Members of the Diplomatic Corps, Dr. Kevin Kariuki, Vice President for Power, Energy, Climate and Green Growth, African Development Bank, Heads of States, institutions and parastatals here present, senior government officials and delegates from SADC member states, private sector developers and investors, technology and equipment suppliers, members of the media, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, we recognize our development partners, industry leaders, private sector investors, financial, technical experts, the academia, civil society, and innovators. Your participation is essential to converting policy into projects and projects into impact. Not forgetting our recognizing institutional partners who made this event to be what it is today. We recognize the Zimbabwe Energy Regulatory Authority, the Zimbabwe Electricity Supply Authority, the National Oil Infrastructure Company of Zimbabwe, NOIC, the Zambezi River Authority, Petrotrade Private Limited, Rural Electrification Fund, the World Bank, recognizing Global Energy Transformation Program, that is Get Transform, the Konrad Adenauer Stiftung Foundation, Soul Train, the Austrian Development Agency, which is the operational unit of International Partnerships, Austria, recognizing the United Nations Industrial Development Organization, UNIDO, the Global Network of Regional Sustainable Energy Centers, the African Development Bank, Southern African Power Pool, the Kafue Gorge Regional Training Center, the Regional Electricity Regulators Association, RERA, the SADC Finance Resource Center, the Zimbabwe Tourism Authority, the Ministry of Tourism and Hospitality, as well as the National University of Science and Technology, Zimbabwe.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is not a ceremonial gathering. It is a working week. Now, across the program, you will engage on financing, bankable project pipelines and modernization, regional power trade, de-risking investment, energy efficiency, and the practical mechanisms required to move from ambition to implementation. Our objective, ladies and gentlemen, is clear: to strengthen regional cooperation and unlock partnerships that accelerate clean energy and energy efficiency at scale in ways that drive economic growth. Okay, so a few housekeeping issues before we commence in earnest. Please be kind enough to either switch off your mobile phones or to put them on silent during proceedings. Where interpretation is provided, please ensure you have your receiver and the correct channel selected. We will keep transitions crisp and request speakers to observe the allocated times. and we only have a couple of speakers this morning before we branch out into the various sessions. Please ensure you register your participation at the desks outside. Distinguished guests, we now proceed to our first address. It is my honor to invite to the podium the host minister and the Honorable Minister of Energy and Power Development of the Republic of Zimbabwe, Honorable July Moyo. Honorable Minister, you are leading Zimbabwe's national energy agenda at a pivotal time, with a focus on strengthening energy security, accelerating investment, and positioning energy as a driver of industrialization and inclusive growth. Your leadership, sir, is central to Zimbabwe's contribution to the regional energy transition and to the partnerships we're here to advance this week. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Honorable July Moyo, Minister of Energy and Power Development.
Thank you. Thank you. I want to salute His Royal Highness, the Minister of Natural Resources and Energy of the Kingdom of Eswatini. And I want to recognize the presence of the Honorable Minister of Energy, my brother from Zambia. We are Siamese twins. We are separated and enjoined by this river called the Zambezi, Honorable Chikote. My sister, the Honorable Simbane Gavi, the Deputy Minister of Energy and Power Development, permanent secretaries who are here, senior government officials. Your Excellencies, I know that we have ambassadors accredited to Zimbabwe who are already in this room. And most importantly, the drivers of this conference, the Executive Secretary of SACRI, Lukula, who is in our midst, and those who have arrived representing our organization SADC, the senior officials from SADC who have joined us before the Executive Secretary Makosi comes later this week, the drivers in our countries of the private sector, participants who are here, the multinational organizations, our own African Development Bank, the World Bank, and other multinational financiers who are in our rooms. The protocol has been extensively covered by the speakers who were before me. I want to welcome you to Zimbabwe on behalf of the President of the Republic of Zimbabwe, Dr. Emerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa. And I want to welcome you as the Ministry of Energy and Power Development of Zimbabwe. I say we are in a very interesting place. This is the border with Zambia, but we call ours the Victoria Falls. And in Zambia, they call it Mswatunya, the smoke that thunders. While welcoming you here, I hope you don't miss the opportunity to visit the Victoria Falls. And if you cross over in Zambia, you will be visiting another falls, not this one. So, but because we promote both of these together, you are welcome everywhere. This SADC Sustainable Week is being held at an opportune time. This second edition of the conference He has a title, quote, Driving Regional Economic Growth Through Clean Energy and Energy Efficiency. The conference is an initiative which was conceived by our ministers of energy and accepted by our SADC Secretariat as an annual event. And it started last year in Botswana. And for those who were in Botswana, it was an exciting starting of a journey that we are going to do and work together. This year, my ministry, together with the SADC Center for Renewable Energy and Energy Efficient SACRI, worked with various government ministries in Zimbabwe, departments, parastatals, and sponsors, among others, to host this conference in Zimbabwe. And of course, with the guidance of SADC Secretariat, this is what has taken us to today. And sorry, I did not recognize our Minister of Mines responsible for renewable energy, Engineer Makwiranzo, who has just joined us. Please welcome. It is going to be a packed week for all of us, filled with many resourceful activities geared towards catalyzing regional economic growth through energy initiatives. The conference shall feature plenary sessions, sponsored sessions, bilateral meetings, field visits, recreational visits, as well as dinners and networking. Take this as part of the conference. There will be few drinks in order to make sure that you open up in your discussions. I would like to urge you to participate in all the activities freely, and I know I will not need to invite you to the cultural dinner, which we will have, because we think gastronomy has become a centerpiece of what we do here in Zimbabwe and is ably sponsored by our First Lady, who has passion for the traditional foods of not just Zimbabwe, of all of us in the region and in the African country as well. And she has been given accolades for hosting gastronomy sessions worldwide. I also assure you that we have provided medical services here during the week to cater for those who would try to exceed their limits as far as gastronomy eating is concerned. So the doctors will be available. Of course, they will also help you in other health-related issues. We will also have the opportunity this week to pass the baton to Eswatini. And that's why His Royal Highness was one of the first ministers to come, because he doesn't want to leave anything to chance. When you know that you are being started by a Royal Highness about what you have done, you have to try to be perfect so that we can pass on the baton to Eswatini, to His Royal Highness Prince Dlamini, who will lead us next year. And he has come with a team led by his secretary, permanent secretary, and we think that those of us from Zimbabwe and SACRI and SADC, we owe it to hand over to Eswatini, having learned what we learned in Botswana last year. We had sessions with the sponsors, with the Austrians, with the Salt Train, and more especially with SADC Secretariat, SACRI, so that we could learn how to organize this. This is the spirit of SADC. This is the spirit that we want to have in the region. I had the privilege of welcoming them yesterday at the Victoria Falls International Airport, the delegation from Botswana, from Eswatini. They came earlier because of what I have just said. And when we thanked the president of Botswana, President Duma Boko, for starting this journey, we were fully aware that they had put an incredible performance last year. And I don't know whether my deputy ministers, the permanent secretary, and their team will be able to match. But you will be the judge. Let me also extend a hearty welcome to the SADC team, led by the acting director for infrastructure, as well as the executive secretary for SACRI, Mr. Kodakwashe Ntukula, who I have already mentioned. I also recognize the presence of other dignitaries who have already arrived. My job this morning is to welcome you. And it is not my intention to make a speech. I'm just talking about welcoming you. Let me recognize the presence of ministers responsible for energy in various countries, ambassadors, country diplomats, sponsors, academia, the media, and other sectors of the economy. I understand we have sponsors from Europe, and I've mentioned some of them, and across the SADC region. I also want to welcome Zimbabwean sponsors, and they are here in large numbers, for their generosity. Your presence here is testament to the importance of this regional conference. As a region, we are grappling with the issue of renewable energy expansion in terms of our countries. We strongly believe in regional integration and the role that both the public and the private sector play in all of it. You are therefore encouraged to network as much as possible through bilateral meetings, and we have made arrangements so that you can have these bilateral meetings. We will not be having closed-door sessions in most of what we will be doing. We want to open up, because even the media has something to offer to us in terms of renewable energy and energy efficiency. So they will be welcome in your sessions. We'll promote synergies amongst all attendees this year. We'll also have a ministerial segment where, as a country, and each country will be able to present their energy compact, those who have energy compacts. But for those who don't have energy compacts, they have programs which they are engaged in and who want to learn from each other. This is our blueprint in the energy sector, which will help us achieve the national vision in the case of Zimbabwe in terms of Vision 2030, and is captured in our NDS2, which was launched last year by our president. Our energy compact is both for hydro, big and small, as well as thermal, but more importantly, it introduces the issues of renewable energy and energy efficiency. We also acknowledge the important role played by conventional thermal power plants and traditional hydropower plants within the energy mix. Our actions and plans as a region must recognize these energy sources as well as energy efficiency efforts. Energy efficiency plays an important role in ensuring adequate supply to productive users of energy. Our machinery in industry, in mining, and across the entire economy must be energy efficient if we are going to realize benefit from the available energy resources in our countries. Distinguished guests, I would like to recognize that we have not been collecting enough of statistics. And when I attended the AU on energy efficiency, the gap in terms of our statistics is yearning. And here in SADC, with our Southern African Power Pool, with our regulators, with the energy ministers, and all of us who meet almost on an annual basis, we have no reason not to have good statistics. that speak very eloquently to what we are doing and where we can project to go. Realizing also the importance of regulation, we need to strengthen our regulatory system through synchronizing laws, tariffs, and application of the system. This will strengthen us as SADC and will make us a regional bloc as we are superintended by the Southern African Power Pool. A strengthened bloc is easily identified as a safe hub for local and international investments opportunities. During this conference, we will network to connect on all professional levels. On Friday, we will have the chance to visit some of the sustainable energy sites around Victoria Falls, where we will get to see biogas digesters in use in a community and solar thermal technologies at one of our hotels in Victoria Falls. There will be an opportunity to visit the rainforests and enjoy one of the world's natural wonders. And you have been sponsored, some of you. So please don't let us down. You must see this. For those who have been sponsored. For those who have not been sponsored, please sponsor yourselves. Our forests and urban areas here are corridors of wildlife. And for those who tried to move yesterday, the elephants are marauding. I don't know. When you see them like this and they have children, they are running away from lions. So be careful, because the lions will also follow. Some of you will see impala walking around here. They are running away from lions. So let's all be careful at night. During the day, let's be safe. Don't go in the water because the lions of the rivers are there, the crocodiles. Otherwise, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Zimbabwe, and in particular to Victoria Falls, a symbol of our region's shared natural heritage. We have a collective responsibility to pursue sustainable development. I am confident that the deliberations of the SADC Sustainable Energy Week will contribute meaningfully to strengthening clean energy and energy efficiency as central pillars of our regional economic expansion and economic transformation. I thank you, Siyabonga, Twalumba. Thank you.
Thank you very much to our host minister, the Honorable Minister of Energy and Power Development, Zimbabwe, Honorable July Moyo. Thank you so much, sir, for your opening remarks. We may be seated. The Honorable has said welcome to you all. He has said benvido in, the Mozambicans say benvido. The Tswana say o amuhalesile. Is that right? Yeah. Takulandirani. Is that right? Yes, wamugelegile in Zimbabwe, and in Shona we say mauya. Welcome to you all. Thank you very much, Honorable Minister, for highlighting that all is set for each and every one of us, and we are here to ensure the week is worth your while, and it's a fulfilling as well as a safe stay. Zimbabwe has put it in place, and Zimbabwe is ready to make it a lovely experience with a fully packed program, whether sponsored or unsponsored. It's also fully packed with excursions and live animals too. He has highlighted that this week is all about business as well as with snippets of fun. We are here to have conversations that will ensure their synergies, their collaborations as we ensure energy security in the region. Because when one bulb flickers in Angola, the whole region should be concerned, and we all should have our bulbs flickering across the region. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for our host minister once again. Distinguished guests, our next speaker represents a key regional institution at the center of accelerating clean energy and energy efficiency across our member states. He is the one person that has brought us together. Under his leadership, this center, the SACRI, continues to champion practical, implementable solutions that move the region from commitments to delivery through enabling policy support, regional coordination, technical collaboration, and the promotion of investment-ready initiatives in the renewable energy and energy efficiency spaces. Ladies and gentlemen, can you help me put your hands together as we welcome the Executive Director of SACRI, Mr. Kudakwashe Ndlukula. Thank you.
Thank you, Director of Ceremonies, Ms. Lindu Enyoni, or the Co-Director of Ceremonies. Honorable July Moyo, Minister of Energy and Power Development of Zimbabwe, His Royal Highness Prince Dlamini, Minister of Natural Resources and Energy, Minister Chikoze, Minister of Energy from the Republic of Zambia, Deputy Minister of Energy, Honorable Simbane Gavi, ambassadors, heads of delegation, all senior government officials, partners, sponsors, dear esteemed delegates, members of the media, colleagues, ladies and gentlemen. My job is not to welcome you because you've already been welcomed by Honorable Minister, but mine is just to thank you for gracing this occasion. It's a pride to my team. We have put all this effort together to make sure that you are welcomed, that you enjoy and make this a memorable event. I thank also colleagues from the SADC Secretariat who have helped us and coordinated us and guided us accordingly. So this event, the 2026 SADC Sustainable Energy Week, Honorable Julaimo has already elaborated well enough that this is the second event, the first one having been held in Botswana last year. And the Honorable Minister has highlighted the key issues that we have here. I think the key moment is the ministerial high-level session, which is the official opening, which is going to take place on Wednesday. But before Wednesday, there are quite a series of events that will be taking place. We are going to have business-to-business meetings, largely in Gwai Room and other rooms available. I'm sure all of you have seen when you came through, there's an exhibition tent outside. We thank our partners, our sponsors, and other entities that have joined us, and they are going to be displaying, or they're already displaying, some of their activities. So please feel free to join and visit the exhibition areas. And the minister has already alluded to the National Energy Compacts. This is the first time you have heard countries have developed their energy compacts with the support of Mission 300, under Mission 300 with the support of the World Bank and the African Development Bank. So it will be an opportunity to hear from the countries as they unpack the energy compacts and also highlight to us the progress that they are making in the implementation of these national energy compacts. To me, one of the most interesting things is that we need to recognize our achievements. Let's celebrate them while we're alive. We don't need to die and then people then talk about us. So in honor of this, we have a session on an award ceremony for our top and outstanding achievers in terms of regional projects. There are 4 categories that have been put together, from energy efficiency, which is not talked much about, but we are happy that it's one of the categories that has been put forward. We also have outstanding private players like IPPs. We also have those innovative projects that are doing a lot to uplift the communities. Again, it's one of the awards. And also, without money, nothing moves. So we are also recognizing those that have put in financial packages to help the projects to move forward. So, as you are aware now, that we are gathered here for the welcome ceremony by the Honorable Minister. This is Kalulu Room. We are going to, after this, we're going to break out into sessions. So the first session, which is session 1, in fact, we have a total of 16 sessions over the 5 days. So today, the first session is going to be a session, it's a breakout session which they are going to run in parallel. So we've got session 1A, which is the 9th Southern African Solar Thermal Training and Demonstration Initiative, SOLTRAIN. SOLTRAIN has been a partner of SACRI for years, and this is their 9th conference. We are proud to be associated with SOLTRAIN, and we are happy that they've seen it fit that their annual conferences are held jointly with the SADC Sustainable Energy Week. So SOLTRAIN conference, with a number of activities which are going to take place the whole day, is going to take place in Kalala Room. And then parallel to this, we're going to have some sessions that are going to deal with issues around scaling and integrating clean cooking. We are also going to continue with issues around enabling environment. This is sponsored by Konrad Adenauer Stiftung. And then we break for lunch. And after lunch, SOLTRAIN will still continue with a number of activities still in this room. And then we go into the other parallel session. We're going to have wind energy development. And this wind energy development has got some esteemed local and international speakers to unpack, the nascent industry in the region. So far in the region, there are just a couple of countries that have made significant progress in developing their wind potential. So we want to see how we can accelerate the development and deployment of this technology. Again, we will then close the sessions with one session being sponsored by Gate Transform. And this session is going to look at redefining power sovereignty, looking at how countries can cooperate in an era where we're increasing renewable energy. And the minister has already said that there will be a closing session with a welcome dinner. So I'll not elaborate on that. Tomorrow then we continue with the sessions. So again, parallel sessions going to continue. We are going to look at energy efficiency in Kalala, and in the other room, Kalundu, we're going to look at issues around infrastructure financing for the energy secure region. And as I said earlier on, we need finance. So we'll be, that session will be unpacking what kind of models of financing are available, which we can tap into. And then, so there will be a session on ELA, the energy efficiency for livelihood improvements in Africa. And then parallel to that, we're going to have another session on PPPs, public-private partnership, and see how we can have this model or this framework of PPPs to unlock finance, especially on critical issues around transmission and, of course, other projects. And then we'll continue with another session on powering communities for productive use. So again, as a sign that we're not leaving anyone behind. So we're all working together. We're also going to have captive power. There's a lot that is happening. Industries are also taking leadership. We know our sector has opened up. So we've got players that are taking initiatives to develop the energy sector. Some are putting solar panels, not only on their rooftops, but even large-scale infrastructure. Others are capturing the energy excess energy or waste energy and converting it and reusing it in an energy efficient way. So we're going to hear more about it later on, that is tomorrow. A critical issue, women in the energy sector. We need more women in the energy sector to drive this sector. So there's a special session that has been set aside to look at not only women, but also the youth. The youth always claim that they're being left behind. I think the time for the youth is now, not tomorrow. So we want the youth to take us through and lead this energy transition. So we've got a session on empowering gender, youth, and the energy transition. And parallel to that, we are going to have a session. I think all of you have heard about critical minerals, green hydrogen, critical minerals. How can we add value into the resources that we have? Someone was arguing that there's now a second scramble for Africa for the mineral resources that we have. This time, let's use these minerals to the benefit of our citizens. So there's a session, again I say it's a critical session because we want to see how we can tap into these minerals resources that are critical, that we should not only just export them as raw. We have seen countries that have put in measures now to ensure that there's value addition to this. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is a session that will be helping us to understand what strategies the countries are coming up with, what initiatives they're coming up with to develop the critical minerals, add value into them, green hydrogen issues, electric vehicles, as well as industrialization. So that is for Thursday, that is for Tuesday. So on Wednesday, as I said, we have now the official opening, which will be graced by His Excellency, the President of Zimbabwe, Dr. Emerson Mnangagwa. And then here we're going to have also our partners going to be speaking there in these sessions. After the official opening ceremony, then we're going to have a ministerial session. Ladies and gentlemen, where have you ever seen an occasion where ministers from all the member states are gathered together and they are available to you so that you can hear from them what initiatives they're taking in their countries? So there's a ministerial session that is going to take place in the afternoon where you're going to see the ministers elaborating the initiatives that they're taking, the strategies that they are putting in place to increase energy investment in their countries. After that, then we break out with a cultural dinner that the minister has spoken eloquently about. That will cap the day. Then on Thursday, Honorable Minister Julaimo spoke about the energy compacts. Yes, and he said not all countries have energy compacts, others have different strategies. So we're going to hear about these strategies and the national energy compacts from the member states. Here we're going to have 3 breakout sessions. So we have Kalulu, Kalundu, as well as the tent outside. So that's where we're going to have one of the breakout sessions. And then we close the SADC Sustainable Energy Week with some remarks, and as the Honorable Minister has mentioned, heading over the next Sustainable Energy Week to the Kingdom of Eswatini. So that will keep, let's say, the official proceedings for the week, but the Minister said definitely on Friday, the exciting events where we're going to tour some sites, off-grid sites, one with biogas, clean cooking that we're pushing for, and then another one for energy efficiency and renewable energy. And of course, there's my favorite, golf. I think I'll be able to learn how to tee on that day. And the minister said, if you did not bring your clubs, we're also hiring the clubs here. So we look forward to seeing you at the golf course on Friday. On the cultural dinner on Wednesday, the awards that I mentioned about. So the award ceremony is going to take place during the cultural dinner on Wednesday. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, I conclude by saying welcome again. sorry, not welcome, but thank you for gracing this occasion. Director of Ceremonies.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ndlukula. A round of applause for giving us detail by detail, session by session, each day on what the Sustainable Energy Week promises to give us. And I trust we all have planned and will be partaking in all the activities that have been lined up for us. Ladies and gentlemen, we did not forget, we want to acknowledge our sponsors. I acknowledged institutional partners. Now I would want to acknowledge our sponsors that have come through for the Sustainable Energy Week. Old Mutual, we have GIZ Namibia, we have Inspired, JA Solar Technology, Canona Power Company, Dinson Iron and Steel Company, we have the Intensive Energy User Group, the IEUG, Varun Beverages Limited, Zimbabwe, RJ Corporation Limited, Ming Chang, Sino Africa. We have Tendo, the University of Zimbabwe, Cell Insurance, Zamproc, as well as the Institute of African Knowledge, INSTAC. A round of applause to our sponsors for coming through for us. We have come to where we then take this time to break away into our 2 sessions that will be commencing. We have session 1A, the Soul Train Conference. It's actually a conference that will be running right here in Kalala. And we have the session on scaling up and integration of clean cooking in national energy access. This session will be happening downstairs in the Kalundu room. And at this point, I will allow those who will be leaving to the Kalundu room to take leave so that we then quickly get on to our sessions as per the program. Apologies before we stand. We have a quick announcement. We have a gray Honda. It's a fit version. ADH 3856. You are blocking traffic. You're parked in the driveway. Could you quickly attend to that? Our security is requesting for your cooperation. Thank you. ADH 3856. It's a gray Honda fit version. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we will allow you to take leave if you will be joining the session in the Kalundu room. We will give ourselves 7 minutes to settle down. Thank you.
Cheers.